and welcome to this bite-sized session on the Chief Examiner's feedback for the Health T-Level Year 1, exploring trends in the core exams and ESP from the Summer 2025 series, with practical tips to support teaching and delivery. In this video, we will look at the key findings from the Summer 25 series, covering both the core exams and the employer set project. We'll review overall trends, breakdown of the performance using RAG charts, and highlight the teaching strategies that can help learners move forward. Let's begin with the big picture. So in the core exams, overall achievements was significantly higher than the previous years. Students attempted more questions, exam techniques had improved, and written communication was stronger. However, challenges remain. Students still struggled with applying knowledge to scenarios, developing evaluation skills, and managing time effectively in extended responses. The employer set project was more mixed. Some students produced strong work, but overall performance dipped. Weaknesses included referencing, questioning in role plays, and critical reflection. So the pattern is this. Knowledge recall is improving, but students still need support with application, analysis, and professional skills. In the following analysis, you will see RAG rating. RAG shows where performance sits by task. Green means strengths the examiner sees repeatedly. Amber means the work is partial, meets the brief, but lacks justification or evidence. Red marks recurring weaknesses. We code the examiner's comments and normalise each bar to 100% so sections are comparable. Don't read it as marks, use it as a road map. Shrink ambers with quick wins like one statistic and a reference. Reduce reds by teaching the evaluation and reflection scaffolds, and rerun the RAG after changes to check your moving colour from amber red into green. So let's begin with Core Paper A. On this chart, each bar is a section and the colours show the balance of strengths and development areas from the Chief Examiner reports. So Section A, working in the sector, recall of roles and MDT is solid, but many answers stop at description. Application to the scenario keeps responses in amber. Section B, managing information and data. This is the strongest section. Learners generally recall legislation and link research data methods to practice. Push structure to reach the top bands. In Section C, health and safety, legislation is named but application is weak. Students often quote acts, dates, without judging risk or explaining impact, hence more amber or reds here. In Section D, person-centred care, there are good links from theory to practice, but time management bites. Later questions are brief or missed. Clear QWC structure would lift marks. So the key takeaway for this is AO1 recall is fine. The gaps are AO2, AO3. Justify choices, apply to the scenario, and manage time on the final items. So let's explore some teaching strategies to support these development areas. Build exam technique drills around command words like explain one versus discuss. Use retrieval practice for legislation and regulatory bodies, focusing on both names and dates. Integrate scenario-based mini-tasks into lessons so students practice applying knowledge in context. Use timed extended response practice to build stamina and reduce exam fatigue. Now we're going to explore Paper B. So this RAG shows a similar pattern across the three body system sections. In Section A, Body System 1, several short items are answered well. The RQs use only scenario facts. Wider knowledge and evaluation are limited, keeping performance amber. In Section B, Body Systems 2, knowledge is there, but calculations are mixed and the extended response question 16 lacks developed reasoning. Learners need to set up, working, and conclusion to secure method and evaluation marks. Section C, Body Systems, many items are correct, but Extended Response question 23 and CHD application in question 24 are weaker again, not enough evaluation or applied judgment. So takeaway is strengthen calculation method and teach a simple scaffold, for example, point, explain, evidence, weigh up, conclude, to move amber to green and shrink the reds. So let's explore some teaching strategies for paper B. Practice data handling and graph interpretation to strengthen numerical questions. Build AO3 workshops where students practice evaluation, balancing positives and negatives and drawing conclusions. And finally, encourage students to bring in wider knowledge beyond the case study. This is essential for accessing higher AO2 and AO3 marks. Let's explore the final component of the Year 1 assessments, the Employer Set Project, or ESP. So here we've mapped the examiner comments into a RAG view by task. Overall, it is amber heavy, with red concentrated in the healthcare plan and reflection. I'll walk through each task with what pushed marks up, what pulled them down, and the teaching lever for next time. So task 1. Most learners could choose an appropriate case and identify needs using recognised guidance. Marks slipped with referencing was missed or inconsistent, and when research was described rather than applied to the named individual. Task 2A, the role play, better performance showed purposeful open questions, active listening and adaptation as new information emerged. These linked the conversations to the plan. Red appears when questioning was generic or closed, scripts were read verbatim, or tone didn't fit the client. Task 2B, healthcare plan. This is a red hot spot. Many plans recycled case notes or actions without timescales and review dates, which caps the band. Stronger scripts synthesized the role play, set clear goals, allocated responsibilities, and showed how progress would be checked. For task 3B, presentations were generally solid when pitched to a senior colleague. A clear structure, brief references, and specific amendments after feedback. Lower scripts listed feedback but didn't evaluate it or show the changes made. For task 4, reflections often stayed descriptive. What happened without the so what, now what? Greens used a model such as Gibbs or Kolb and set actionable CPD. So the priorities are clear. Reference and link case in task 1. Open, probe, confirm in task 2A. Smart and review dates in task 2B. Evaluate and show the change in task 3B. And 3-stage reflection with CPD in task 4. If you do those 5 things, the amber block shrinks and red will almost disappear next series. So let's explore some teaching strategies. Embed reference skills across delivery, not just for Employer Set Project. Provide structured role-play practice with varied client responses and peer feedback. Teach students how to create smart healthcare plans with goals, timelines, responsibility and review points. Run presentation skills workshops, focusing on tailoring to different professional audiences. Teach and practice reflective models like Gibbs and Kolb, emphasising what went well, what could improve and what next. So as we come to the end of today's session, I'd like to take a moment to reflect on final takeaways and where you can continue to access teaching and delivery support. So what can we take away from this feedback? Exam techniques matter. Students must practice command words, structuring answers and managing time. Application is key. Generic responses won't score highly. Scenarios need to be embedded throughout the teaching. Professional skills underpin ESP success. Referencing, questioning, planning, presenting and reflecting should be built into Year 1 delivery. Formative practice works. Mock exams, practice role plays and peer and self-assessment all help learners close gaps before final assessments. Support doesn't stop after today's recording. There's a range of materials available to help you and your learners. On the NCFE qualification page, you'll find the Chief Exam Report, student exemplar work and downloadable schemes of work with free teaching materials. There are also recorded CPD sessions on our YouTube playlist, which you can revisit anytime, and upcoming live events listed on the NCFE T-Level Training Events page. All of these are designed to make your delivery smoother and your learners more confident. Before we finish, we'd really appreciate your feedback on today's session. You can scan the QR code on the screen or follow the link to complete a very short survey, which will also be shared in the description of this video. Your input helps us to refine our training and make sure future sessions are as relevant and as useful as possible. So thank you for your time today. I hope you leave with some clear practical strategies to support your learners in achieving their best. Please do make use of the resources highlighted, and remember, small, consistent changes in delivery can make a big difference to learner outcomes. Thanks again, and I look forward to seeing you at some of our future sessions.